Hello and welcome to the International School of Traders. Today is Tuesday, the 19th of April, 2022. We are going to be showing you what sort of setups that we are looking to trade this afternoon. Hello and welcome, guys. I hope you had a wonderful Easter weekend and a family day. Thank you for for coming back. Let's look at the trades that we are looking at today. So before we look at those, let's look at the news items that we have today. We do have some CAD news today, and also some US news that are coming through today. The next 49 minutes or so. That means it's 2:30 South African time. We do have non-farm employment change and also foreign securities purchases from Canada. And then we do have building payments in the US that is coming through. And then we do have a couple of news coming from there. From France, it's going to affect the euro. The IMF meeting will be at 1700 today. And then we do have news later on, like API, weekly crude oil stocks, right? Cool. That is what we're looking at. This is what we're looking at this afternoon. So we're gonna go and have a look at a couple of setups that we're looking at. I'm gonna start off with GBP/USD. At first, I wanted to, this is 15-minute time frame. Let's go to 4-hour and all of those things. Now, at first, I wanted to, look at purchasing or buying GBP/USD, which can be a good idea, but it's not really a good idea considering the fact that looking at this market, even on a 4-hour time frame, this has been a bearish market throughout this season or since last month. So it wouldn't be a great idea purchasing or buying here. But if we do happen to get some buys, it should be something that we're looking at in this specific way, meaning we're looking to buy, to go long on these areas right here, have a stop loss here, and then have a take profit around about this area over here. But this is not an advisable trade at the moment. Not something that I would say you should go for. But it should be something, some sort of an amazing trade if it does work out the way that we are looking at, right? Cool. So what are we looking at? I'm looking at, I'm just looking at this market and expecting this market to have a little bit of, give us a little bit of signs that it wanna go further down, especially, coming to these highs here and then changing direction. Obviously, it's the beginning of the week. That may be or not true, but that's what we're looking at this afternoon. This low is sort of a low that I'm looking at, and I love it. This is where we had probably, most people looking at buying here, and then market went lower than that, and continued to the higher high, or created this lower high actually. This area over here was where a lot of buyers, retail traders came through in these areas, and then institutions pushed all the way down, and then further pushed all the way up. So that is where I believe the market went up for this area because of previously sweeping out some buyers who were in this area over here. Okay, cool. But if this trade does work out, then we should look at, probably taking profit around this area over here. Cool. So let us look at some other trades that we do have, or what we're looking at. I am looking at Euro USD, right? I do not have a detail. I do not have much of details here, simply because I'm expecting, this market to push a little bit further up. But even though, I'm expecting it to do that, I'm not expecting to buy here. So the market is very, very, since the market is very, very bearish here, I'm not looking to buy anytime soon here. just looking for sell positions, right? We've seen how the market has created those lower lows and lower highs, lower lows and lower highs here in this particular case. So meaning that whatever the market is going to do to go up, we're looking to take some sell positions on this particular market over here. Okay, cool. And also we do have some amazing things that went or that actually happened here, which is the break of structure in this particular area over here. We may say this one or even this one was a break of structure and then market went through. So meaning usually after the break of structure, what the market will do is to break structure, then retrace a little bit or retrace a little bit deeper and then continue all the way down, right? Cool. So that's the retracement over there. Is where we want to catch this trade. Euro GBP, another trade that I'm looking at. We've been looking at buying in this trade, and obviously I ended up giving up on buying since this market did not honor this area and this area over here. Okay, did not honor this area, but did honor this one over here. But even though honoring this area is some sort of a great idea, I do not like it since this market has shown a very big signs of being, very bearish over here. So what I would do here is look for sells around this area, or actually this area, which is 0.83151. These are the two most important areas where we can look to sell Euro GBP. So if you look down or go to a lower time frame, that area is the 50%, and then this one is 61.8 over here. So quite interesting areas that we can look at and say we want to sell at, right? Cool. So let's look at further charts that we may analyze and look at selling. But before going or moving forward here, I think it will be very important to look at something more of its nature, meaning that we're looking to sell in this area, take profit a little bit further down here. So cool, meaning just a break of structure here, then we can take profit. But this is where we're probably going to take sales, which is at 0.83151, and then stop loss at 0.83414, and take profit at 0.82417. This is a pretty much good trade, good ratio over here. And then XAUSD, which is gold, my expectation here is that the market should, or at least push a little bit further to the 61.8 or even to the 78.6 or this area over here, which was sort of an imbalanced area, right? So that is the area that I've been looking at over here to say market is expected to push all the way up and then go all the way down here. Okay, cool. This is some sort of a good area over here. Cool. So let's continue looking at USD CAD. USD CAD played out the way I wanted last week, but I wasn't looking at the market since we were looking at the holidays and stuff. So market came all the way down to this area, which let me just go to an time frame. This area over here is where I was expecting to buy, but just missed by less than a pip here, prepared for anything like that. This was my expectation. I sent this in all groups. So this was my expectation that the market is going to come here and then continue all the way up here. So this is still my expectation now. My expectation is that the market is going to push all the way up to the 61.8 or even further than that, and then we can look at selling in this market. Since on a daily time frame, it has been showing that this market over here, even though it's a little bit messy, this market over here is in a bearish market over here, so, right? This is a bearish market, so I'm expecting to sell, right? And then USD CHF, this market over here has broken these highs, which we've been looking at, even these ones too. But upon this happening, I am expecting market to change direction around the 0.95200 mark, since that is the area that we looked at as an area where market gave us a clear idea that, this market actually retraced to this area code, which has a beautiful area. So broke this area and then retraced and then went down. This was around 2020, and then now we are approaching that area. Cool. So with markets expected to go there, that area, we might expect, a market changing direction over there and then coming down to this area before approaching, all the way up. I'm expecting markets to come to these areas and then continue, if the market want to continue going up. Okay, cool. That may be the expectation. That's maybe what I'm expecting on this market over here. And then looking at CAT-CHF, we've got to some, imported areas here. We do have markets coming down to this low and using it as support and then continuing all the way up, which is why I'm expecting this area, markets to retrace to one of these areas, either this one or this one, and then we can continue buying in this area. So what I'd be looking to do here, I'd be looking to at least, see markets coming down to this area and then continue to the top side, or maybe coming down to this area, and then continuing to the top side. This is CAT-CHF, one of the trades that I'm looking at currently. So this is what I'm looking at for the rest of the week. If there is any additional chart, I'll be sending it through the group. And thank you so much for coming through. I will see you, or before I see you, this coming weekend, we do have an online Forex bootcamp. It is an amazing thing that we are going to have. I'm expecting you guys to come through. Thank you so much for coming through this live trading session. I will see you on the other side of the withdrawals. One and only. Shalom.